Salvete Discipuli, and welcome to week 3 of our distance learning extravaganza. So what we're going to be doing today is going through our week 3 work packet together. Now what I'd like you to do is make sure that you have this printed out and ready to go so that you can follow my verbal instructions and fill it in as the video progresses, okay? So if you don't have that printed out, please pause this, all right, go print it out, and then come back and resume the video. All right, but we're going to start with part A, okay? And that's going to be speed test practice. All right, so let's read the directions together. All right, directions. Pause the video and fill in what you can remember. When you've filled in all that you can, press play and we'll go over this together. All right, and make sure you fill out the noun endings and the verb endings on the next page. Okay, so you've got noun endings and you've got your verb endings as well. All right, so go ahead and pause this video. Please fill in as much as you can. All right, and then when you're ready, press play to resume the video and we will go over the answers together. All right, so go ahead. Okay, and welcome back. So we are going to go over the noun ending answers first. All right, so I did fill them in for you. So if you wish to do so, you can pause the screen now and check your answers. Okay, make sure you fill in the ones you didn't know, circle the ones you got wrong. Okay, this is a great study tool so that you know what you need to study. All right, but when you're done checking your answers, we're going to sing the chants that go along with these. All right, so here we go. You can also totally sing along with me, so it's not just me by myself, because Latin is cool, and it doesn't matter who's around. This is fun, right? A, E, A, E, A, M, A, E, A, R, U, M, I, S, A, S, I, S, 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. U, S, I, O, U, M, O, I, O, R, U, M, I, S, O, S, and I, S, 2. U, M, I, O, U, M, O, A, O, R, U, M, I, S, A, I, S. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. X, I, S, I, E, M, E, E, S, U, M, I, B, U, S, E, S, I, B, U, S, third declension endings. Okay, so now that you know how it sounds, let's do that again. Remember, this is the alphabet song. Okay, this one is My Country. This one is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, and this one is Yankee Doodle. All right, so I'm gonna unhighlight this, and then we'll do it one more time together. Okay, here we go. A, E, A, E, A, M, A, E, A, R, U, M, I, S, A, S, I, S, 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. U, S, I, O, U, M, O, I, O, R, U, M, I, S, O, S, and I, S, 2. U, M, I, O, U, M, O, A, O, R, U, M, I, S, A, I, S. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. X, I, S, I, E, M, E, E, S, U, M, I, B, U-S-E-S-I-B-U-S, third declension endings. Okay, so those are our noun chants. All right, now, it's fine if you learn it that way this year, but just as a heads up, next year for Latin 1, when I see you guys in 7th grade, I'm going to expect you to, we're going to just practice them and say them every day. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what that will sound like, all right, I, autumn, is, as, is, os, I, o, o, autumn, is, os, is, I, o, o, a, autumn, is, a, is, ex, is, I, es, ibus, es, ibus. Okay, so that's next year. Personally, I prefer just saying them out loud. It's just much quicker, and it'll help you translate more easily too. All right, so now let's go over our verb endings. Okay, so this has already been filled out for you, so you can pause the screen here, check your answers, fill in the ones you didn't know, circle the ones you don't know, circle the ones you got wrong. All right, check your answers here. All right, so do that. But when you're ready, we're going to go through the chants for these. Okay? So, here we go. O-S-T-M-U-S-T-I-S-N-T. O or M means I. S means you. T means he, she, or it. Mus means we. Tis means y'all. Nt means they. Okay, and then we've got our chants for the imperfect tense and the future tense as well. Okay. Bamba spot, bamba spatis bont. Bamba spot, bamba spatis bont. Bo bis bit, bimis bitis bunt. Bo bis bit, bimis bitis bunt. Ole! Okay. So those are the chants for, whoopsie daisy. Those are the chants for our verbs. All right. And finally, what we went over last week, we learned a new tense, okay? Part of the perfect system known as the perfect tense, okay? And these endings you should just say out loud, okay? So we can do that together. I isti it, imus istis erunt. Let's do it again. Excuse me. I isti it, imus istis erunt. One more time. I isti it, imus istis erunt. Okay? So those are your verb endings. All right, so make sure you know them. I grade these out for you already because I don't necessarily need you to know the pluperfect or future perfect endings just yet. All right, so let's stick with just the 4 tenses for now. All right, now let's move on. Okay, to part B. All right, so let's read the directions for this together, even though you probably know what to do already. All right, please pause the video now and match the following Chapter 8 vocabulary. When you've finished, you may press play and we'll go over the answers. Okay, so pause the video now, go through and match them. So make sure you write in capital letters so it's easier for you to see, but each time you use one, cross it off, check it, whatever, and then write your answers in the spaces. All right? So when you're ready, press play and we'll go over these, but do this by yourself now. And welcome back. Okay, so here are the answers for our Chapter 8 vocabulary. Okay. Just to make it easier for you to check them, I'm going to read them out loud for you, so you can just look at your paper and go through the answers. Okay, number 1, clamo clamare is L, to shout. Okay, number 2, dende is E, then. Number 3, desidero desiderare is F, to desire or wish. Okay, number 4, exerceo exercere is M, to train. Number 5, habeo habere is G, to have, hold, or consider. Number 6, laetus laeta laetum is A, happy. Number 7, moneomonere is en, to warn. Number 8, mox is see, soon. Number 9, nekonekare is h, to kill. Number 10, paro parare is I, to prepare or get ready. Number 11 is tereo terere, J, to scare or frighten. Number 12, walidos, walida, walidom is D, strong. Okay, 13, video videre is K, to see. All right, 14, vivus, viva, vivum is B, living or alive. Vulneratus, vulnerata, vulneratum is P, wounded. And vulnero, vulnerare is O, to wound. Okay, that's now a mistake you guys might have made, and I'm not sure yet because you haven't submitted your work yet. Be careful with these two. Okay, don't get them confused. All right, you can tell them apart because vulneratus, vulnerata, vulneratum has 3, I guess you can call them principal parts. All right, and that's what adjectives look like. All right, whereas vulnero, vulnerare, vulneravi, vulneratum has 4 principal parts. Okay, and that's for verbs. All right, just a quick note on adjectives up here. Okay, there are 3 principal parts because there are 3 genders in Latin, right? Masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay, and each one goes with a specific form. Okay, so that's part B for our Chapter 8 vocabulary review. All right, so moving on to part C now. We're going to do some verb tense review. Now, in your work packet, okay, you have, if you flip over to the next page, you'll see that you have a word phrase box for part C. Okay, that's a guide. Okay, so all those answers are what we're going to use to fill in these blanks. All right, so what I'd like you to do now is please pause the video and see if you can go through this exercise, part C, without me and fill in what you know. And then when you're ready, you can resume the video and we'll go over the answers together. All right, so pause the video now and do that work, and then we'll come back. Alrighty, welcome back to Latin, the place where fun never stops. Let's go over the answers. All right, so our first subsection here is the general tense overview. All right, so let's go over that. I'm actually going to make that a little bit bigger. So number 1, the present verb system includes the following tenses. All right, so our options are present tense, imperfect tense, and future tense. Okay, so check your answers, please. Make sure that they are dealt with. All right. Next bullet point here. Okay, the present verb system uses the blank principal part, the infinitive, to conjugate. Okay, so which principal part? The second. Okay, so we've got rid of that. All right, sorry, just give me 1 second. Check your answers while I am doing something over here, making sure that everything goes according to plan. Okay, next. The perfect verb system includes the following tenses. You've got the perfect tense, the pluperfect tense, and the future perfect tense. All right, so check your answers, please. Make sure you've got the right tenses in the right spot. Okay, because that's a super important distinction that you need to know. All right, next. The perfect verb system uses the blank principal part to conjugate. It uses the third principal part. Okay? All right, so be sure to check your work. All right, next. Most Latin verbs have blank, but some only blank. All right. So most Latin verbs have 4 principal parts. But some only have 3. All right, so be sure that that's what you have. All right, so that's that one. Next, principal parts need to be blank. Okay, the answer is memorized. All right, I need you guys to memorize your principal parts, and I've been asking you to do that since day 1. Okay, and that's honestly only going to help you later on. Okay, so if you put in the legwork now, translating is going to be a lot easier when the time comes. Okay, so trust me on that one. I kind of wish my Latin teacher did that with me when I was your age, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Okay, so I had to do a lot of extra work later on to relearn everything. All right, so just do it now, save yourself the trouble. Okay, next, we're going to label the following principal parts. Okay, now recall from last week's lesson, we did do that. All right, so the answers are, this is the first person present. Okay, this is a reference. And it's also how you look it up in the dictionary. You always look it up through the first person reference. The second one is your infinitive. Okay? And you also have to write down that it gives the present verb stem. All right, that's one of the options in your word box. So be sure you make that distinction. Okay, the third principal part is known as the first person perfect. Okay, and it gives the perfect stem. All right, so be sure that you have that written down as well. Okay, and the fourth principal part is known as the passive participle / supine. Okay, you don't necessarily need to know what that means right now, but it's good to know that that's what it's called. Okay, so check your answers. Make sure that you have these correct. Okay, so check them. Make sure you have this all written down too. I want to see that you guys are, not taking shortcuts and not abbreviating. Write this stuff out, okay, as fully and completely as I am here. Remember the rule. I write, you write, unless I say otherwise. And I haven't said otherwise yet. So make sure you guys have this all written down. All right, now we're going to move on to the next part of Part C, where we're going to talk about verb stems and conjugating properly. Okay, number 1. In order to find the present verb stem for properly conjugating any verb in the present system tenses, as in the present imperfect or future tenses, you go to the blank and pop off the blank. Okay, so in the present system, you go to the second principal part. And pop off the RE. All right, so make sure you have that. And ready for the next one? So that's the first one. Second one. In order to find the perfect verb stem for properly conjugating any verb in the perfect system tenses, i.e. the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect, you go to the blank and pop off the blank. Okay, you go to the third principal part. And you pop off the I. Okay, and it's important to make that distinction. Otherwise, you're going to have some wonky looking verbs, and that's not what we want here. Okay, so check that. And last question. Write out the steps for conjugating below. Okay, so now you need to know the difference between the steps for conjugating in the present system and the perfect system. Okay, so let's talk about the present system first. All right, so that includes these three tenses. Okay, and we will do some practice later, so fear not, my young ones, it's going to be fine. Okay, so step one, you're going to go to the second principal part. Okay, then you're going to pop off the RE. Okay, then you're going to, this is specific, don't just say add your appropriate endings because that's not entirely correct. You have to add your present, imperfect, and future endings. Okay? So that's the first one. Now, last but not least, we're going to talk about the perfect system. Okay, now the perfect system includes these three tenses, the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect. Okay, so far we've only talked about the perfect, but we will see the pluperfect and future perfect before the year ends. All right? So just know that that's there. Okay, step number one. You have to go to the third principal part. Okay, then you have to pop off the I. Okay, and then be specific here. You have to not add your appropriate endings, but add the perfect, the pluperfect, and the future perfect endings. Okay, so that's it for part C, the grammar review. Okay, now what I would suggest to you, okay, is definitely study these fill in the blanks. Okay, these are Latin facts that do not change. And when we start meeting up again in person, these might be fair game questions for our yesterday's quiz game. And it's also fair game for any grammar test that I might give you. Okay, so you do need to know these things. All right, they're super important and they're not going to go away. Okay, so check your answers, make sure that they're correct. And then when you're done, we're going to move on to part D. Okay, so we're going to practice. All right, now to kind of give you a full overview of what we're doing with verbs, I decided that for this exercise, we're going to translate. We're going to conjugate. Here, let's read the directions together. All right, directions. Conjugate the following verb in the present, imperfect, future, and perfect tenses with translation. Okay, so a fully conjugated verb, you do have to supply translation. Okay, that's usually expected of you. And I believe Mr. Clemens will expect the same. Okay, so when when you're done with me and you move on to him, he's going to want the same thing. Okay. The verb that we're going to be working with together is prohibeo, prohibere, prohibui, prohibitum, and it means to prevent. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let's do it. We'll do this systematically. Okay, we can always refer back to this page here. All right, now, the present tense. Okay, let's conjugate prohibeo, prohibere in the present tense. Okay, now the present tense is in the present system, okay? So that means we're going to be working here. All right, we're going to do that one. All right, so that means we got to follow these steps. Go to the second principal part, pop off the RE, and add your present endings. Okay, so here we go. We'll go to the second principal part. That's prohibere. Okay, and we're going to pop off the RE. Okay, that goes away. So our stem is going to be prohibe. Okay, but am I going to say, all right, so but remember, they've already given you the first answer for the present, so we're just going to rewrite that here. All right, first we'll go through the forms, then we'll provide the translations after. Okay, so prohibe o, prohibes, sorry, that's a B, not a P. Prohibet, prohibemos, oh my goodness, I cannot write today. Prohibetis and prohibent. Okay? So that's prohibeo, prohibere in the present tense. Now let's provide our translations. Okay, I'm going to do them in a different color. Let's use a nice calm purple. Actually, probably something you can see. Okay, so remember, present tense is happening now. I prevent. You prevent. Okay, prohibet is he, she, or it prevents. Okay, prohibemos is we prevent. Prohibetis is y'all prevent. And prohibent is they prevent. Okay? So that's the present tense. Make sure you have this written down, okay? I don't want to see any of you submitting this with these charts blank, okay? Because some of you totally did that last week, and that's unacceptable. I was lenient this week, I was lenient last week, but this week you have to fill in everything. Follow along with the video, okay? It's not that hard. Just listen to my instructions. Okay, now we're going to move on to the imperfect tense. Okay, now remember, the imperfect tense belongs to, if we recall, the present verb system. So that means we're going to have to follow these rules. Okay, go to the second principal part, pop off the RE, and add your imperfect endings. Okay, so let's do that. All right, the second principal part is here, prohibere. Then we're going to pop off the, pop off the RE, sorry. So prohibe is your stem. Now we're going to add our imperfect endings. Okay, so stem, prohibe, bam, prohibe, bas, prohibe, bat, prohibe, vamos, prohibe, batis, okay, and finally prohibe, bant. Okay, so that's the imperfect. Now let's go through and do the translations for these. Remember, the imperfect tense is the wasing wering, okay? It's called the wasing wering. Okay, and that's because there's wasing or wering in each translation of this. Okay, so I was... Oh, I didn't change colors. I'm sorry. We like color coding. Color coding is pretty. Okay, I was preventing. Okay, prohibebas is you were preventing. Prohibebat is he, she, or it was preventing. Okay, prohibebamos is we were preventing. Prohibebatis is y'all were preventing. Okay, and prohibebant was they were preventing. Okay, so that's it. We've conjugated prohibeo, prohibere in the imperfect tense. Okay, so make sure you do that and make sure you're translating each form correctly and specifically. All right, you have to be careful. All right, so moving on, we're going to do the future tense now. Okay, so the future tense, if we recall, let's go back to our notes real quick. Okay, it's part still of the present system. So we're still going to be using this set of rules to conjugate. We're going to go to the second principal part, pop off the RE, and then add our future endings. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so the second principal part is prohibe, re. All right, then you pop off the RE. So you're left with prohibe as your present verb stem. Okay, so you're still using your present verb stem. All right, so now we just go through and we add our future endings. Prohibebo, prohibebis, prohibibit, prohibebimus, prohibebitis, and prohibebunt. Okay, remember, it's the bo-bib-bu. All right, bo-bib-bu is your tense marker here. Okay, now let's add our translations. All right, and remember the future tense hasn't happened yet, so it's the will. Okay, we're going to write that here. The will. Okay, so I will prevent. Okay, you will prevent. Okay, he, she, or it will prevent. Okay, prohibebimus is we will prevent. Prohibebitis is y'all will prevent. And prohibebunt is they will prevent. Okay? So that's that for the future tense. All right? Check your answers, write them along with me, make sure you have this all filled out. And once you have that done, we're going to move on to the final tense that we're dealing with today. Okay? And that's going to be the perfect tense. The perfect tense. All right, now if we recall, let's go back to our notes. The perfect tense is actually now part of the perfect system. So that means we're going to be working with these set of rules rather. Okay, so the rules go to the third principal part, pop off the I, and add the perfect endings. All right, so let's do that. Okay, third principal part is prohibui. Okay, and then so that's your third principal part. Then you pop off the I. Okay, so that leaves you with your stem. It's prohibu. Okay, so you see how this perfect stem here, prohibu, is different than prohibe, which is your present stem. Okay, that's why you need to make the distinction and know the difference between your principal parts. All right, so let's go through and add our endings now. Prohibui, prohibuisti, prohibuit, prohibuemus, whoopsie. Okay, prohibuit. I'm sorry, prohibuistis. And prohibuerunt. Okay? So that's that in the perfect tense. Now let's go through and do the translations for each. Okay, so remember the perfect tense it comes from the Latin word perfectus, which means completed. Okay, this is the simple past completed form. Okay, so it's very easy. Okay, so I prevented. Oh no, we didn't color code. Oh well, we'll do the rest with that. Okay, so I prevented. You prevented. Okay, prohibuit is he, she, or it prevented. Okay, prohibuemus is we prevented. Prohibuistis is y'all prevented. And prohibuerunt is they prevented. All right? So that's it. We've conjugated now prohibeo prohibere in the present, the imperfect, the future, and the perfect tense. Okay? And that's complete. That's complete. All right, so please make sure that you go through this video, have all of these filled in your week 3 work packet rather. Okay? And I'm going to give you your further instructions for the rest of this week. Okay? So let's go through this together. Okay, part E, classwork or attendance. All right, you need to submit these completed notes to get class credit and attendance for being in Latin class this week. Have this sent to me no later than Friday, April 3rd by 11:59 p.m. You can submit it on Google Classroom or you can email it to me, but make sure that you do have them submitted. Okay, so all the stuff we did together today, make sure I see that you've done it. Okay, I need to know that you did this and went through the video with me. Okay, now there's another assignment for you to do. All right, you need to take the Chapter 8 quiz, which can be found on Google Classroom. Please take it without notes though, okay? This is important. Please try and take it without your notes. All right, I'm looking for honesty here, okay? I'm trusting you guys to take this quiz. Please do it without your notes. All right, I want to see what you know. That's what quizzes are for, okay? They're so that I know what you know and what you don't know and what needs to be gone over again. Okay, so depending on how you guys do on this quiz, that dictates what we're going to be doing next week. Okay, this quiz is going to be due by Friday, April 3rd by 11:59 p.m. All right, so make sure you do that. Okay, and part G, flashcard calendars. All right, so this week, March is coming to a close. That means your March flashcard calendars are due. Please submit your March flashcard calendar. Remember, it counts as 4 homework grades, so you need to have the minimum of 175 minutes studied. Okay, and I did mention increasing study time in past emails and worksheets since we are not meeting in class, and we haven't been for the past 3 weeks. Okay, now some of you might be wondering, where can I find the April flashcard calendar? Okay, you can find it in 3 places. Okay, the April flashcard calendar can be found on Google Classroom, can be found on the 6th grade website, and can be found attached to the week 3 weekly email that was sent to you on Tuesday, or your parents. Okay, so you should get started on studying your 175 minutes there. All right, so just as a summary, okay, this is what you need to pay attention to down here. All right, your assignment checklist for week 3. If you do all of these 3 things, you'll be good, and you'll get attendance credit, you'll get class credit, okay? Especially considering that the quarter is ending this Friday. All right, so I need to have some grades in for you guys, in addition to what I had from before we, had to go in hiding. All right, so your assignment checklist for week 3. Okay, you need to have submitted your week 3 work packet. that's been completed with the video. Okay, you need to have your answers written in. You have to take the Chapter 8 quiz. It's a Google Classroom thing. Okay, and you have to submit your March flashcard calendar, which has a requirement of 175 minutes minimum. Okay, all of these items are due Friday, April 3rd by 11:59 p.m. Okay, that means you have literally all week to do this. Well, the rest of the week, okay, especially considering we usually don't have Latin until Tuesday anyway. Okay, so you have today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to finish all of this stuff up. It's really not a lot. All right, so I would suggest getting started on that. Thank you guys for all the work that you've put in so far. I'm pretty proud of you, and I'm really happy that I still get to teach you, even though I can't see your faces. I do miss you guys. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. If you have any questions, you can always email me. Again, my email is sslade@gcali.com. All right, but make sure that you get these items into me, okay? You need to do those. You need to finish them. All right, so stay well, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget to at least get some fresh air, okay? Tell them Magistra's orders. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Walete de Skipoli.